Hello everyone, welcome back to our class. So, in continuation with the discussion about natural resources, today we'll discuss about some very important phenomena. First of all, pollution and about the rain and clouds formation. So, if you talk about rain, what is rain? Rain means the natural way of water coming down on earth from atmosphere is called rains. And as you know, on earth, the major resource of water, fresh water, is the rain. And a number of countries are there where their whole agriculture is based on that availability of rains. And how are rains caused? Rains are caused due to clouds formation. So first of all, let's understand how the formation of clouds occur. So all the water bodies as well as water from plants by the process of transpiration or exhaled by animals during respiration as well as human beings undergoes the process of evaporation and it is converted to what? This water is converted to water vapors. Now it gets heated up by heat reflected from earth and this hot humid air containing water vapors becomes lighter and rises up, so that when it rises up, it expands and gets cooled down. Resulting in formation of clouds due to condensation of water vapors. Dust particle act as nucleus and increase the condensation, resulting in formation of water droplets, and these water droplets, they fall down under the influence of gravity in the form of rains, and this falling down is known as what? It is known as precipitation. So this is how the clouds formation and rains occur. As you know, the various water bodies present on the earth's surface, they get evaporated, resulting in formation of water vapors. Water vapors are also formed because plants, they release water in the atmosphere by the process of evaporation, and water is also exhaled by animals as well as human beings during respiration. And also, you know, human beings, they also release water vapors in atmosphere by the process of sweating. So by various means, there are a number of means by which the level of water vapors in the atmosphere increases, and now this air which is containing water vapors, it is a humid air. This humid air is heated by the heat reflected by the earth, and now this hot humid air, it becomes lighter, and becoming lighter it rises up. Now while it rises up, it expands, and this expansion causes cooling. Because of cooling, the clouds are formed due to condensation of water vapors, because when water vapors condense, they form small water droplets known as clouds. And if there are some particles present in the atmosphere like dust particles or other any suspended particles, though they act as nucleus, and this nucleus increases the condensation process or collecting around of water droplets around it, so that the water droplets increase in size. When the water droplets are so big that they are not able to hold themselves against the force of gravity, they fall down, and this falling down is resulting in the process called rains, and this is also known as precipitation. Sometimes if the temperature is very low, then what happens? In that case, the thing is that the water, it gets converted to snow, hail or sleet. Then we have that situations, right? So in this way, the rains are caused due to clouds formation. And you must be wondering that we were talking about the atmosphere or the gaseous blanket of Earth's surface, and why I suddenly jumped up in the discussion about rains and clouds formation. Because later on you will come to know that rains are quite responsible for cleaning of the atmosphere, because when water falls down, then what happens? A number of dust or other suspended particles, they get mixed with water and come on the surface, making this earth atmosphere clean. Other than that, there may be number of gases like carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide. They also get dissolved in water. Otherwise, their presence may lead to number of serious problems, right? So, in this way, somehow, rains are also responsible for maintaining atmospheric pollution or controlling atmospheric pollution, provided we, the human being, are not going to damage our atmosphere to a great extent that we have been doing since a long time. So, here, let's look at what is atmospheric pollution, or you can say air pollution. What do you mean by pollution? Pollution means addition of any harmful substances or removal of any useful substance from a given resource beyond a certain limit, so that it is going to adversely affect the life of living organisms. That is known as air pollution. So, or pollution. So, when we talk about air pollution can be defined as addition of harmful substances or depletion of useful substances from atmosphere beyond a certain limit is called air pollution, and the substances that are added up and that adversely affect, they are known as pollutants. For example, you know, in Earth's atmosphere there is about 0.3% carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is essential for the green plants to survive, for provide us food, as well as for providing us oxygen for the process of respiration. So you have seen that carbon dioxide is one of the very essential ingredient of the Earth's atmosphere, but if the level of carbon dioxide increases very high, it goes beyond a certain limit, and this increasing level of carbon dioxide is responsible for causing some very important phenomena, that is greenhouse effect and global warming, about which we will be discussing later on. So in this way you have seen maintaining the composition of the atmosphere within a certain limits is very important for having us good life, right? So if you look at the cause of pollution, atmospheric pollution, so there are two types of causes. One is the natural, of course, the causes which are present in nature. If you look at the natural causes, we can have an example of volcanic eruptions, forest fires, and you can talk about dust storms, right? Or maybe the pollen grains present in the atmosphere. These all are the atmospheric natural pollutants. And if you talk about the man-made pollutants, there is a long list which is adding to this man-made pollutants. The major factors which we include here is, first of all, the excessive use of fossil fuels. Another important reason responsible for atmospheric pollution is excessive deforestation. So excessive use of fossil fuels, excessive deforestation, excessive industrialization, and above all, the one key cause for the atmospheric pollution, or you can say for any other pollution, is excessive population increase. Right? Because all these three reasons are because of excessive hike in the population. As the population is increasing, the demands and the requirements of this increasing population is also increasing. If population is increasing, the demand for energy is increasing, and for producing more energy we have to burn more of fossil fuels. If population is increasing, in order to provide all the basic facilities to the population, a big land area is required, and that land area can be produced only by the process of deforestation, by cutting down or falling down the trees. And as the population is increasing, demands of various things is increasing, and lifestyle is increasing. So setting up of various kinds of industry is also there. So for increasing industrialization, of course, first of all, a big land is required, which will again lead to deforestation. And in factories, various kinds of fuels are used, and combustion of these fuels that lead to release of various harmful gases in the atmosphere, like carbon dioxide, sulfur trioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and so on. The release of these harmful gases is also responsible for increased level of atmospheric pollution. So you can have a long never-ending list of the human contribution that is responsible for increasing the air pollution. And if you look at the consequences or effects of this air pollution, of course, again here the list is very long. So all these consequences are not able to be explained here, but here I will discuss only very few of the important consequences which are becoming very burning topics in nowadays society. So if we talk about consequences of air pollution, first of all, a high level of sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide and nitrogen dioxide. It causes irritation in eyes, in respiratory tracts, and it also causes breathing troubles. And that also is responsible for causing another major problem, that is acid rains, about which we'll discuss later on. If we talk about high level of gases like carbon dioxide, methane and water vapors, these are responsible for causing greenhouse effect and global warming, about which we will again discuss about. And of course, high level of hydrocarbons, suspended hydrocarbons, are carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means cancer causing. So that is a very short list of the consequences of atmospheric pollution. As I said, the list may be very long, but here I have considered only few of the consequences. And here first of all, let's discuss about one very important phenomena, that is acid rain. And how is acid rain caused? As a result of atmospheric pollution, you have seen that our atmosphere is having high level of acidic gases like sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. And when it rains, it gets dissolved in rainwater, causing acid rain. All these gases, they get dissolved in rainwater, making the water highly acidic, and now this is known as acid rain. The effects of acid rain is again wide ranging. First of all, it is causing skin problems. As you know, the acids are corrosive. So of course, these excessively acid rains, they cause acidic skin problems. They destroy the aquatic life. When this rainwater gets mixed up with the water bodies, making the water of water bodies to be again highly acidic, then what happens? The aquatic plants and animals that are not capable to cope up with such a high acidic water, then these plants and animals, they get killed, undergo decomposition, and again it leads to more and more atmospheric pollution. And of course, another result of acid rain is it destroys the soil fertility. as you know, the soil is having number of worms like earthworms and microorganisms, and these organisms are responsible for maintaining the fertility of the soil, as they are the decomposers. They break down the complex materials into the simpler forms, replenishing the nutrients of the soil and help in maintaining the soil fertility. So if it rains excessively, then what happens if there is an acid rain? So microorganisms and these worms are killed, and the soil's nutrients cannot be replenished easily. It makes the soil non-fertile or barren. And of course, another effect is it is responsible for yellowing of marble. So marble, which is chemically calcium carbonate, it has tendency to react with the acids, and because of which the marble is becoming yellow, and it is very harmful, or you can say very dangerous for our old monuments, especially made up of marble. You must have heard about the yellowing of the one of the 8 wonders of the world, that is Taj Mahal, and this yellowing of marble is known as marble cancer. So these are some of the consequences of another problem or another phenomena, that is acid rain. And one more thing, that is the consequence of increasing atmospheric pollution or air pollution, is the greenhouse effect, and this greenhouse effect leads to the another important harmful phenomena, and that phenomena is global warming. So now let's have a look at greenhouse effect. So what is greenhouse effect? You can say high level of gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapors. They trap the sun's heat, resulting in increased atmospheric temperature, is known as greenhouse effect, and these gases that are responsible for causing greenhouse effect are known as greenhouse gases. So because of the number of human activities, the concentration of the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide or methane and water vapors is increasing to a very high amount, and these gases are responsible for trapping the heat of the sun. They trap the heat, they do not allow the heat to reflect out from the Earth's atmosphere, and that results in increased temperature of the Earth. And that is what it is known as greenhouse gases. Actually, what used to happen in European countries where the climate is very cold, so there the people, they used to make the houses of glass and for their agriculture processes. So in these houses they used to grow the plants, and these glass houses, they help to trap the heat, and that's why these houses were known as greenhouses. And following the same name, now this effect is known as greenhouse effect. And because of this greenhouse effect, the increase in atmospheric temperature is known as global warming. So greenhouse effect's main consequence is the increase in global warming or increase in atmospheric temperature. And if you look at the consequences of global warming, Again, the most important thing is that the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere is increasing day by day very badly, and because of which the ice at poles start melting, and due to which the animals which are living on poles like polar bears, their survival is becoming very difficult. They are becoming almost endangered species or at the verge of getting extinct. And another reason is, of course, our agriculture system is disturbed because of global warming, and due to melting of glaciers or ice poles or ice caps, the sea level is increasing. And because of increased sea level, there is a danger for the coastal cities, because it is predicted that if at the same rate the ice caps keep on melting, very soon number of coastal cities will be submerged under the sea. So that is the effect of atmospheric pollution. A long range effects are there. So I request you all to plant more and more green trees and try to take all the steps to prevent your environment so that we can live in this environment happily and healthily. So that's all about for today. In next lecture, we will discuss about the another natural resource, that is the water. Have a nice time. Goodbye to all of you.